Have you ever wondered what lingers in the shadows when the last rays of daylight slip away? Imagine a world where every corner holds a quiet secret, where the dimness cradles something unseen, perhaps a memory, a sigh, or a whisper too soft for the sun to hear. What if the shadows aren't empty at all, but full of gentle things waiting to be felt when the light fades? Welcome to Talk to Sleep, a sanctuary of gentle whispers and soothing tales, where every video embarks you on a journey through diverse topics told with a soft, calming cadence. Here, amidst tranquil soundscapes and tender narratives, we invite you to release the worries of the day and drift into a serene embrace of deep, restful sleep. Let our words be your lullaby, guiding you to a night of peace, renewal, and sweet dreams. Tonight, we'll wander into that quiet realm, what shadows hold when the light fades. We'll explore the stillness that dusk brings, the unseen beauty it reveals, and the soft stories it keeps. So, settle into a gentle place, let your breath deepen, and join me on this tranquil journey into the arms of the shadows. If this peaceful tale wraps you in calm, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing for more restful wanderings. The birth of shadows. Let's begin where shadows are born, in that tender moment when light softens and the world turns its face toward dusk. Imagine standing at the edge of a day, the sun dipping below the horizon, its golden glow stretching long and thin across the earth. The air cools, the colors blur, and shadows rise like quiet guests, filling the spaces where light once played. This is their birth, a slow unfolding, a hush that settles over everything like a sigh. Shadows come from light's retreat, a dance between what shines and what waits. Picture a tree at sunset, its branches reaching high, its leaves catching the last rays. As the sun sinks, the tree's shadow stretches across the grass, long and dark, a silhouette of what stands above. It's not absence, it's presence, a shape carved by the light's gentle goodbye. Imagine running your fingers through that shadow, cool and soft against the warm earth, a whisper of the tree's form held in stillness. Isn't it beautiful, how something so simple can feel so alive? This dance has played since the earth first turned. Long ago, when the sun set over ancient plains, shadows fell across the paths of early wanderers, hunters, gatherers, dreamers who watched the dark rise. They might have sat by a fire, the flames flickering, casting shadows that leaped and swayed against the stone. Those shadows held their stories, their fears, their quiet hopes, stretching into the night like threads of thought. Picture them now, gathered in that dimness, the air scented with smoke and earth, the world growing still around them. Shadows shift with the seasons, too. In summer, they're sharp and bold, pooling beneath trees heavy with leaves, offering cool patches to rest in. In winter, they stretch thin and pale, tracing the bare bones of branches against the snow. Imagine a winter evening, the sky a deep gray, the shadows faint but steady, like a breath held in the cold. They don't demand, they simply are, a quiet companion to the light's ebb and flow. Let that rhythm settle over you now, steady and slow, a pulse of calm. Scientists tell us shadows are just the absence of light, photons blocked by something solid, leaving darkness behind. But there's more to them than that, isn't there? They're a canvas, a mirror, a place where the world softens its edges. Stand in a forest at dusk, and watch the shadows blend, the trees' outlines blurring into one another, the ground a tapestry of gray and green. The air hums with the faint rustle of leaves, and the shadows hold it all, a gentle cradle for the day's end. As you linger here, let the birth of shadows wrap around you. Imagine the sun dipping lower, the light fading to a whisper, the shadows rising soft and sure. They don't rush or shout, they unfold, filling the world with their quiet grace. Feel them now, cool against your skin, steady beneath your feet, guiding your breath deeper, slower. This is where shadows begin, a tender shift, a peaceful bloom, drawing you gently towards sleep. The beauty shadows reveal. Now, let's drift into what shadows show us when the light fades, the beauty they unveil in their stillness. Imagine walking through a world where the sun has slipped away, and the shadows take the stage, softening the harsh lines of day, painting everything in hues of dusk. The air is cool, scented with the faint earthiness of night, and the shadows hold a quiet magic, revealing what the light might hide. Picture a garden at twilight, the flowers closing their petals, their colors muted but glowing in a new way. Roses, once bold red, turn deep and velvety in the shadow, their edges soft against the gray. Lavender sways, its purple fading to silver, its scent rising like a sigh into the dimness. The shadows don't erase, they transform, draping the garden in a veil that feels like a dream. Imagine sitting there, the bench cool beneath you, the air brushing your face, the beauty unfolding in the quiet. It's a gift, isn't it? This gentle shift that lets you see anew. Shadows reveal texture, too. Stand beneath a tree as the moon rises, its light faint but steady, casting shadows across the bark. The ridges and grooves come alive, each line a story of years, of rain and wind and sun. In daylight, you might pass it by, but in the shadow, it calls to you, rough and real, a map of time held in wood. Run your fingers over it in your mind, the coolness grounding you, the shadows play softening your thoughts. It's a beauty that whispers, not shouts, inviting you to linger. In cities, shadows weave their own charm. Picture an old street at dusk, the buildings tall and silent, their windows catching the last light while shadows stretch across the stone. A lamppost glows, its beam carving pools of dark and gold, the cobblestones gleaming where the shadow rests. The air hums with the distant sound of footsteps fading, and the shadows hold the scene like a painting, quiet, timeless, serene. Imagine walking there, your steps slow, the shadows guiding you through a world made gentle by their touch. Even the sky joins this dance. At night, the moon casts shadows soft and pale, stretching across fields or rooftops, their edges blurred like a memory. Stars peek through, their light too faint to chase the dark away, and the shadows cradle them, a canvas for their glow. Picture lying back, the grass cool beneath you, the shadows pooling around you like a blanket. They reveal the vastness above, the quiet wonder of a night unfolding, a beauty that feels infinite yet close. As you rest here, let the shadows' beauty settle over you. The garden's hush, the trees' texture, the streets' glow, the skies' embrace, they bloom in the dimness, soft and steady, a gift from the fading light. Feel them now, wrapping you in their calm, their grace drawing your breath deeper, your mind quieter. This is what shadows hold, a beauty unveiled, a lullaby of dusk, guiding you gently towards sleep. The stories shadows keep. Now, let's wander into the stories shadows hold, tales whispered in their quiet depths when the light fades. Imagine a world where every shadow is a keeper of moments, a silent witness to what's past, cradling secrets in its cool embrace. The air is still, scented with the faint memory of day, and the shadows stretch out like pages in a book only the night can read. Let's listen to their stories together, letting their hush carry us into peace. Picture a shadow falling across an ancient wall, its stones worn smooth by time. This is Pompeii, frozen in a moment nearly 2,000 years ago, when ash buried a city and the sun set for the last time on its streets. The shadows then held the shapes of people, fleeing, resting, reaching, etched into the dark as the world ended. Today, those shadows are gone, but imagine them lingering, soft and gray against the stone, holding the echo of footsteps, the murmur of voices stilled. The air feels heavy with their memory, yet calm, a quiet cradle for what was. Let that stillness wrap around you, a reminder that even in endings, there's peace. Now, drift to a forest at night, the trees tall and dark, their shadows blending into a tapestry of green and black. Long ago, travelers passed here, perhaps a medieval wanderer, cloak drawn tight, lantern flickering. The shadows caught his silhouette, stretching it long across the path, holding the rustle of his steps, the sigh of his breath. Picture him pausing, the light dim, the shadow pooling around him like a friend. It kept his story, his hopes, his weariness, a secret shared with the trees. Imagine standing there now, the air cool and pine-scented, the shadows tell a whisper in the dark. It's a story that doesn't demand, it rests, soft and steady. In a quiet village, shadows tell smaller tales. Picture a cottage window at dusk, the glow of a candle inside casting a shadow on the wall, a child's hand reaching for a toy, a mother's silhouette bending low. The shadow holds that moment, fleeting but whole, a snapshot of love and care. The air hums with the faint creak of the floor, the murmur of a lullaby, and the shadow keeps it all, a memory too soft for daylight. Imagine watching it fade as the candle dims, the shadow melting into night, its story safe in the quiet. Feel that safety now, a gentle weight that soothes your thoughts. Shadows hold nature's stories, too. Beneath a cliff, where the moon barely reaches, a shadow cradles the trace of a deer pausing to drink, its antlers sharp against the dark. The water ripples, the shadow shifts, and the moment slips away, but not entirely. It lingers in the dimness, a quiet mark of life passing through. Picture it now, the air cool and damp, the shadow a silent keeper of that fleeting grace. It's a story of being, of moving on, of resting in the unseen. As you linger here, let these stories settle over you. The shadow of Pompeii's last day, the wanderer's pause, the cottage's warmth, the deer's quiet step, they live in the dark, soft and whole, held by the shadows when the light fades. Feel them now, their whispers fading into silence, their presence wrapping you in calm. This is what shadows keep, tales of time, of life, of stillness, guiding you gently towards sleep. Shadows as companions. Now, let's drift into a quieter place, where shadows become more than shapes, they become companions, soft presences that walk beside us when the light fades. Imagine stepping into a world where the day has softened into dusk, and your shadow stretches long and steady beside you, a silent friend who knows your every step. The air is cool, the ground firm beneath your feet, and the shadow moves with you, a gentle echo of your being. Let's explore this companionship together, letting its calm wrap around us like a sigh. Picture yourself walking down a quiet path, the sun low and golden, painting the earth in warm hues. Your shadow falls beside you, its edges sharp at first, then softening as the light dims. It mirrors your stride, your pause, the tilt of your head, never speaking, but always there. It's a simple thing, isn't it? This dark twin born of light, a companion that asks nothing, offers everything. Imagine reaching out to it, your fingers brushing the air where it rests, cool and still. It's a presence that feels familiar, steady, a quiet part of you. Shadows have been companions since we first stood beneath the sun. Long ago, a child in a forgotten village might have danced with hers, leaping and spinning as her shadow twirled across the dust. She laughed, the air warm with summer, and the shadow danced too, a playmate in the fading day. Picture her now, her small feet kicking up earth, her shadow stretching and shrinking with her joy. It held her delight, her wonder, a friend who stayed until the stars came out. Let that image settle over you, light and tender, a reminder of innocence held in the dark. Even in stillness, shadows comfort. Imagine sitting by a window at dusk, the room growing dim, the shadow of your hand resting on the sill. It's just you and this quiet shape, the air scented with the faint musk of evening, the world outside slowing down. The shadow doesn't judge or hurry, it simply sits with you, a companion through the silence. Perhaps you felt this before, a moment when the day's noise fades, and the shadow feels like a breath beside you, easing your thoughts, softening your heart. In nature, shadows companion the wild things, too. Picture a deer stepping through a forest as the sun sets, its shadow slipping between the trees, long and graceful. The air hums with the rustle of leaves, and the shadow moves with it, a quiet partner in its journey. It doesn't lead or follow, it simply is, a presence that shares the moment. Imagine watching from afar, the deer pausing, the shadow pooling beneath it like a pool of calm. It's a companionship without words, a bond woven in the fading light. As you rest here, let the idea of shadows as companions sink into you. They're not distant or cold, they're close, steady, a part of your everyday. Imagine your shadow now, stretching beside you as you lie still, the room growing dark, the air cool against your skin. It's been with you always, through laughter, through quiet, through the simple act of being. Let it hold you now, its presence soft and sure, guiding your breath deeper, your mind quieter. This is the shadow as companion, a gentle friend, a whisper of peace, drawing you gently toward sleep. Shadows in art. Now, let's wander into a gallery of the mind, where shadows weave their way into art, those strokes of dark that give light its depth, its soul. Imagine standing before a canvas where dusk has fallen, the colors muted, the shadows stretching across the scene like threads of a story. The air is still, faintly scented with paint and time, and the shadows hold a beauty that speaks without words. Let's explore this together, letting the art's quiet grace cradle us into calm. Picture a painting from centuries ago, Caravaggio's hands at work, his brush dipping into shadow as much as light. In his Supper at Emmaus, the figures glow against a dark backdrop, their faces lit by a single flame. But it's the shadows that draw you in, the deep folds of their robes, the dimness pooling beneath the table, the soft edges where light fades. They're not empty spaces, they're alive, giving the scene its weight, its warmth. Imagine standing there, the canvas glowing faintly, the shadows wrapping you in their stillness. It's a beauty that feels like a breath held, a moment caught in dusk. Shadows dance in other forms, too. Think of a Japanese woodblock print, its lines sharp and simple, its shadows soft and gray. Picture Hokusai's waves curling against a twilight sky, the dark shapes of boats cradled in their troughs. The shadow here isn't harsh, it's gentle, a whisper of night falling over the sea. The air smells faintly of ink and paper, and the scene pulls you in, its calm washing over you like a tide. Imagine tracing those shadows with your eyes, their curves soothing your thoughts, their quiet steadying your heart. In sculpture, shadows play a different role. Picture Rodin's The Thinker, its bronze form bathed in soft light, the shadows pooling beneath its chin, its knees, its hands. They shift with the angle, deepening the lines of thought etched into the metal. Stand beside it in your mind, the air cool and metallic, the shadows moving as if alive, holding the figure's silence. They don't distract, they deepen, a companion to the light that reveals what's carved. Let that depth settle over you now, a quiet weight that feels like peace. Even in photography, shadows tell stories. Imagine an old black and white image, a street at dusk, the shadow of a lone figure stretching long across the pavement. The light is faint, the air thick with grain, and the shadow holds the moment, their stride, their solitude, their unseen face. It's a snapshot of time, a story without end, cradled in the dark. Picture it now, the edges blurring, the shadow softening into the night. It's a beauty that invites you to rest, to wonder, to let go. As you linger in this gallery, let the shadows and art wrap around you. Caravaggio's depth, Hokusai's calm, Rodin's weight, the photograph's hush, they bloom in the dimness, a dance of dark and light that soothes the soul. Imagine them now, their shapes fading into one another, their stillness filling the air. Feel how they hold you, their quiet beauty guiding your breath slower, your mind gentler. This is the art of shadows, a tender craft, a lullaby of form, drawing you closer to sleep. Shadows of the night. Now, let's step into the deepest shadows, those of the night, where the world turns soft and vast when the light fades entirely. Imagine a sky gone dark, the stars faint pinpricks above, the shadows stretching wide and deep across the earth. The air is cool, scented with dew and silence, and the night holds everything in its gentle embrace. Let's wander through this darkness together, letting its peace settle over us like a blanket. Picture a meadow under a new moon, the light so faint the shadows blur into one another, a sea of gray and black. The grass sways, its tips catching the barest glow, and the shadows pool beneath, soft and endless. The air hums with the chirp of crickets, a sound that fades into the quiet, and the night feels alive, its shadows cradling every blade, every breath. Imagine lying there, the earth cool beneath you, the shadows wrapping you in their hush. It's not empty, it's full, a stillness that holds the world. In a forest, the shadows of night deepen. Picture tall trees standing close, their branches weaving a canopy that blocks the stars. The shadows here are thick, a velvet dark that softens every edge, every sound. A leaf falls, its descent a whisper against the silence, and the shadow catches it, holding it in the dimness. The air smells of pine and moss, and the night feels like a secret, a place where the day's noise fades away. Imagine walking through, your steps slow, the shadows brushing your skin like a sigh. They don't hide, they reveal, a quiet beauty that calms your soul. Cities where night shadows differently. Picture a street bathed in the glow of streetlights, their beams carving pools of light amid the dark. The shadows stretch long and jagged, beneath a bench, along a wall, across the pavement, each one a shape of the night's own making. The air hums with the distant hum of life, but the shadows hold a stillness, a pause between the day's rush and the morning's rise. Imagine standing there, the coolness settling over you, the shadows softening the world. It's a quiet that feels like home, a restful dark that cradles the city's pulse. Even the sea knows these shadows. Picture a shore at midnight, the waves rolling in, their crests catching the faint light of a distant moon. The shadows dance across the water, shifting with each ripple, a play of dark and silver that stretches to the horizon. The air is salty and cool, the sound of the tide a steady breath, and the shadows hold it all, the vastness, the motion, the peace. Imagine sitting by that shore, the sand cool beneath you, the shadows of the waves washing over your thoughts. It's a night that feels endless, a shadow that soothes without end. As you rest here, let the shadows of the night enfold you. The meadow's hush, the forest's depth, the city's pause, the sea's dance, they bloom in the dark, a quiet symphony of stillness and grace. Feel them now, their coolness against your skin, their calm sinking into your bones. This is the night's gift, what shadows hold when the light fades, a tender vastness, a lullaby of dark, guiding you gently towards sleep.
Shadows in memory. Now, let's drift into a softer place, where shadows weave themselves into the fabric of memory, those quiet corners of your mind where the past rests when the light fades. Imagine a moment from long ago, its edges blurred, its colors dimmed, held in the gentle dark like a treasure too fragile for the sun. The air is still, faintly scented with the warmth of yesterday, and the shadows cradle these memories, keeping them safe. Let's wander through this together, letting their hush settle over us like a sigh. Picture a summer evening from your childhood, the sun dipping low, casting long shadows across a yard where you once played. The grass was cool beneath your feet, and your shadow stretched beside you, a playful echo of your leaps and bounds. Maybe you chased it, laughing as it danced ahead, or sat still as it pooled beneath you, a companion in the fading day. That shadow holds the memory now, the sound of crickets rising, the feel of the breeze, the joy too simple to name. Imagine it drifting back to you, soft and gray, a whisper of who you were. Isn't it tender, how shadows keep these moments alive? Memories often live in the dimness. Think of a room you once knew, a grandparent's house, perhaps, its corners shadowed even in daylight. The furniture stood quiet, the air thick with the scent of old wood and time, and the shadows held the scenes, a story told by a crackling fire, a hand resting on yours, a smile caught in the half-light. Picture it now, the shadow stretching across the floor, cradling those moments like a soft hand. They're not sharp or loud, they're gentle, softened by the dark, a place where the heart can rest. Shadows in memory shift with time. Imagine a winter afternoon, the light pale and fleeting, the shadow of a tree falling across a frozen path you walked. It was cold, your breath a cloud, and the shadow marked the moment, a quiet walk, a thought you can't quite recall, a stillness that felt whole. That shadow lingers in your mind, its edges blurred, its story faint but real. It doesn't demand to be seen, it waits, a keeper of what was, a thread tying you to the past. Let that thread wrap around you now, light and steady, a calm that soothes.
Even forgotten memories find shadows to hold them. Scientists say our minds store more than we know, tucked away in neural folds like letters in a drawer. A shadow might catch them, a silhouette against a wall, a shape in the dusk, and stir something deep, a feeling without a name. Picture it now, a shadow you've seen before, its form familiar yet distant, whispering of a day lost to time. It's a comfort, isn't it? That the shadows might cradle what you've let go, keeping it safe in their quiet dark. As you linger here, let the shadows in memory enfold you. The yard's playful dance, the room's warm hush, the path's winter stillness, the forgotten stir, they rest in the dimness, soft and whole, held when the light fades. Feel them now, their presence wrapping you in peace, their whispers guiding your breath slower, your thoughts gentler. This is what shadows hold in memory, a tender past, a lullaby of then, drawing you closer to sleep. Shadows and sound. Now, let's wander into a place where shadows meet sound, where the quiet of the dark hums with whispers and echoes when the light fades. Imagine standing in a world where dusk has fallen, the air cool and still, and the shadows carry the music of the unseen. A leaf rustles, a breeze sighs, and the dark holds it all, a symphony too soft for day. Let's listen together, letting this gentle chorus cradle us into calm. Picture a forest at twilight, the trees tall and dark, their shadows stretching across the earth like a blanket. The light is gone, and the sounds rise, crickets chirping in steady waves, an owl's call drifting through the branches, the faint crack of a twig underfoot. The shadows hold these notes, softening their edges, blending them into the hush. Imagine standing there, the air scented with pine and damp moss, the sounds wrapping around you like a melody. They don't rush or clash, they flow, a rhythm caught in the dark, soothing your thoughts. In the shadows, sound finds a new shape. Think of a city street at night, the glow of lamps casting jagged shadows across the pavement. A car hums in the distance, its echo fading into the dark, while footsteps tap softly, their rhythm swallowed by the shadow's embrace. The air carries the faint scent of rain on stone, and the sounds feel quieter, closer, held in the dimness like a secret. Picture walking there, the shadows pooling at your feet, the noise of day softened into a lullaby. It's a music that calms, isn't it? A song the shadows sing when the light steps away. Even water joins this dance. Imagine a lake at dusk, its surface smooth and dark, the shadows of reeds stretching long across it. A ripple breaks the stillness, its sound a gentle plink, echoing faintly before the shadow takes it in. Frogs croak, their voices low and steady, blending with the whisper of wind through the grass. The air is cool, heavy with the scent of water and earth, and the shadows hold the chorus, a quiet harmony that fills the night. Picture sitting by that shore, the sounds drifting over you, the dark softening them into peace. It's a melody that needs no words, only feeling. Shadows don't just hold sound, they shape it. Scientists say darkness changes how we hear, the absence of light quiets the mind, letting us notice the small, the soft, the hidden. A whisper in a shadowed room feels louder, a breath more real. Imagine that now, a single sound, a clock ticking, a sigh, caught in the shadow's stillness, its echo stretching into the dark. It's a gift, this quiet amplification, a way the shadows cradle what we might miss in the glare of day. As you rest here, let the shadows and sound weave around you. The forests hum, the streets echo, the lakes ripple, the rooms whisper, they bloom in the dark, a gentle music held when the light fades. Feel them now, their rhythm steadying your breath, their calm sinking into your bones. This is what shadows hold, a symphony of hush, a lullaby of night, guiding you gently toward sleep. Shadows of the seasons. Now, let's step into the shadows of the seasons, those shifting shapes that rise and fall with the earth's turning, holding time in their quiet dance when the light fades. Imagine a year unfolding, each season casting its own shadow, each one a soft mark of change and rest. The air shifts, warm, crisp, cold, fresh, and the shadows follow, cradling the world in their calm. Let's wander through these seasons together, letting their rhythm soothe us into peace. Picture spring at dusk, the light soft and new, the shadows falling across a field waking from winter. Trees bud with tender leaves, their silhouettes faint against a pastel sky, stretching short and gentle across the grass. The air smells of blossoms and damp earth, and the shadows hold the promise of growth, the whisper of life stirring. Imagine walking there, the ground soft beneath you, the shadows cool and fleeting, a sign of days lengthening. They don't linger long in spring, they play, dancing with the light, a tender companion to the season's bloom. Let that lightness settle over you, a breath of renewal. Summer brings deeper shadows. The sun climbs high, then sinks slow, casting long, bold shapes beneath trees heavy with green. Picture a meadow at twilight, the grass warm from the day, the shadows stretching wide and dark, pooling in cool patches. The air hums with the scent of hay and flowers, and the shadows offer refuge, a place to rest from the heat. Imagine lying there, the earth steady beneath you, the shadow's edge brushing your skin. They're strong in summer, steady and sure, holding the day's fullness in their quiet embrace. Feel that fullness now, a calm that grounds you. Autumn softens the shadows again. The light turns golden, slanting low, and the shadows stretch thin across a carpet of fallen leaves. Picture a forest at dusk, the trees bare, their branches tracing delicate lines against the sky, their shadows faint and scattered. The air is crisp, scented with wood smoke and decay, and the shadows hold the season's farewell, a quiet letting go, a hush before rest. Imagine standing there, the leaves crunching underfoot, the shadows blending into the twilight. They're gentle in autumn, a whisper of change, soothing your thoughts with their fade. Winter brings the longest shadows. The sun barely rises, its light pale and brief, casting shapes that stretch far across snow or frost. Picture a field at dusk, the ground white and still, the shadow of a lone tree reaching like a finger into the dark. The air is cold, sharp with pine and silence, and the shadows hold the season's stillness, a deep calm that wraps the world in quiet. Imagine sitting there, the chill against your cheeks, the shadow steady and vast. They're patient in winter, waiting with the earth, a companion to the night's long breath. Let that patience sink into you, slow and deep. As you linger here, let the shadows of the seasons enfold you. Spring's tender play, summer's bold refuge, autumn's gentle fade, winter's vast hush, they shift with time, holding each moment when the light fades. Feel them now, their rhythm wrapping you in peace, their calm guiding your breath slower, your mind quieter. This is what shadows hold, a cycle of seasons, a lullaby of change, drawing you gently towards sleep. Shadows and silence. Now, let's drift into a place where shadows meet silence, a quiet so deep it feels like a blanket over the world when the light fades. Imagine stepping into a space where sound softens to a whisper, where the shadows stretch out like a hand, cradling the stillness. The air is cool, faintly scented with the breath of night, and the silence hums beneath it all, held in the dark. Let's explore this together, letting the hush wrap around us like a sigh. Picture a valley at dusk, the hills dark against a fading sky, the shadows pooling in the hollows like ink. The days chatter, birds, wind, footsteps, fades, and silence rises, soft and vast. The shadows hold it, smoothing the edges of sound, turning the world into a quiet cradle. Imagine standing there, the grass cool beneath your feet, the air still against your skin. A leaf falls, its rustle swallowed by the dark, and the silence deepens, a presence as real as the shadow itself. It's not empty, it's full, a calm that fills the spaces light leaves behind. Silence and shadows weave together in small places, too. Think of a room at night, the curtains drawn, the shadow of a chair stretching across the floor. The clock's tick slows, the hum of the day fades, and the shadow holds the quiet, a gentle keeper of the stillness. The air carries the faint scent of wood or fabric, and the silence feels close, like a friend sitting beside you. Picture it now, the room dim and soft, the shadow cradling the hush. It's a silence that soothes, isn't it? A gift the dark brings when the light steps away. In nature, this pairing grows profound. Imagine a desert after sunset, the dunes glowing faintly under a rising moon, the shadows stretching long and smooth across the sand. The wind dies down, the air cools, and silence settles, held in the shadow's embrace. No birds call, no leaves rustle, just the vast, steady hush of the night. Picture lying there, the sand cool beneath you, the shadows wrapping you in their quiet. They don't demand, they offer, a stillness that steadies your breath, softens your thoughts. Shadows and silence have a bond older than us. Long ago, a shepherd might have rested beneath a tree as dusk fell, his flock quiet, the shadow of the branches falling over him. The world stilled, hooves stopped, voices faded, and the shadow held that silence, a refuge from the day. Imagine him now, his head resting against the trunk, the air scented with grass and wool, the dark and quiet merging into one. It's a moment held in time, a peace that lingers in the shadow's care. As you rest here, let shadows and silence enfold you. The valley's hush, the room's calm, the desert's stillness, the shepherd's refuge, they bloom in the dark, a quiet harmony held when the light fades. Feel them now, their coolness settling over you, their silence guiding your breath deeper, your mind gentler. This is what shadows hold, a silence soft and whole, a lullaby of peace, drawing you closer to sleep. Shadows in dreams. Now, let's wander into a realm where shadows drift through dreams, those fleeting worlds we visit when the light fades and sleep takes us. Imagine closing your eyes, the room growing dark, and a shadow slipping into your mind, soft and fluid, shaping the stories that unfold in the night. The air is warm, faintly scented with the stillness of rest, and the shadows weave their quiet magic. Let's explore this together, letting the dreamscape cradle us into calm. Picture a dream where you stand beneath a tree, its branches swaying, its shadow stretching across a ground you can't quite name. The light is dim, a glow without a source, and the shadow moves with you, a gentle guide through this strange place. Maybe it's a memory, a park you once knew, a moment blurred by time, or maybe it's new, a creation of your sleeping mind. Imagine walking beside it, the air cool and soft, the shadow's edge brushing your thoughts. It's not fixed, it flows, a companion in the dream's tender dance. Shadows in dreams often hold what we feel. Think of a night when you dreamed of a house, its rooms dim, the shadows pooling in corners like pools of thought. A figure stood there, someone you know, or don't, and the shadow held their shape, soft and undefined. The air hummed with a sound you couldn't place, and the shadow carried a feeling, peace, longing, a whisper of something lost. Picture it now, the house quiet, the shadow steady, cradling the dream's heart. It's a beauty that doesn't explain, it simply is, soothing your soul. Sometimes, shadows shape the dream itself. Imagine drifting through a forest, the trees tall and dark, their shadows blending into a maze of gray and green. The light shifts, faint and fleeting, and the shadows guide you, down a path, around a bend, to a place you feel but don't see. The air smells of moss and rain, and the shadows hold the journey, a thread through the night story. Picture it unfolding, your steps slow, the dark wrapping you in its calm. They don't lead, they follow, a quiet presence in the dream's flow. Scientists say shadows in dreams come from our minds, bits of memory, flickers of day, woven into the dark by sleep. The brain paints them, soft and vague, to fill the spaces light can't reach. But there's a poetry here, too, a sense that shadows hold what we can't hold awake. Imagine a dream where a shadow falls across water, its ripples stretching endless, carrying a thought you'll forget by morning. The air is cool, the silence deep, and the shadow cradles it, a keeper of the night's secrets. As you linger here, let shadows in dreams wrap around you. The trees sway, the houses hush, the forest's path, the waters ripple, they bloom in the dark, a gentle tapestry held when the light fades. Feel them now, their softness settling over you, their calm guiding your breath slower, your mind deeper. This is what shadows hold in dreams, a quiet story, a lullaby of sleep, drawing you gently into rest. Shadows of the Earth. Now, let's step into the shadows of the earth, those vast, ancient shapes cast by the world itself when the light fades. Imagine a planet turning beneath a sky, its mountains, valleys, and seas draped in dark as the sun slips away. The air is cool, scented with stone and soil, and the shadows stretch wide, holding the earth's quiet strength. Let's wander through this together, letting its steady calm settle over us like a breath. Picture a mountain at dusk, its peak sharp against a fading sky, its shadow falling long and deep across the valley below. The rock glows faintly, then dims, and the shadow rises, a cloak over the slopes, softening their edges into night. The air carries the scent of pine and frost, and the shadow holds the mountain's silence, a weight that feels alive. Imagine standing at its base, the coolness brushing your face, the shadow stretching far beyond you. It's not small, it's vast, a mark of the earth's own breath, steadying your thoughts. In the plains, shadows spread differently. Picture a wide field as the sun sets, the grass bending in a breeze, the shadow of a single tree stretching thin and long across the earth. The light fades to gold, then gray, and the shadow grows, blending with the dusk, cradling the land in its quiet. The air hums with the faint chirp of insects, and the shadow holds the openness, a gentle hand over the soil. Imagine lying there, the grass cool beneath you, the shadow's edge fading into the dark. It's a simplicity that soothes, a peace that roots you. The sea casts shadows, too. Picture a shore at twilight, the waves rolling in, their crests catching the last light before the shadow of the cliffs falls across them. The water turns dark, its surface a mirror for the night, and the shadow stretches out, holding the tide's endless song. The air is salty and cool, the sound of the waves a steady whisper, and the shadow cradles it all, the motion, the depth, the calm. Imagine sitting there, the sand shifting beneath you, the shadow wrapping you in its hush. It's a vastness that feels close, a quiet that holds the sea's heart. These shadows are old, older than us, older than memory. Long ago, when the earth was young, mountains cast their first shadows across molten stone, seas stretched dark beneath a newborn sky. They've held the world through ice and fire, through the rise of forests and the fall of stone. Picture that now, a shadow falling across a canyon, its walls etched by time, the air still with the scent of dust and age. It's a shadow that remembers, a keeper of the earth's long story, soothing your mind with its weight. As you rest here, let the shadows of the earth enfold you. The mountain's cloak, the plain's stretch, the sea's mirror, the canyon's memory, they bloom in the dark, a quiet strength held when the light fades. Feel them now, their coolness grounding you, their calm guiding your breath deeper, your thoughts gentler. This is what shadows hold, a piece of the earth, a lullaby of stone and sea, drawing you closer to sleep. Shadows and lights dance. Now, let's drift into a place where shadows and light weave together, a tender dance that unfolds when the day fades into dusk. Imagine a world where the two are partners, not opposites, their steps soft and sure across the earth as the light begins to wane. The air is warm, faintly scented with the day's last breath, and the shadows rise to meet the glow, holding it in their quiet embrace. Let's wander through this dance together, letting its rhythm cradle us into calm. Picture a hillside at sunset, the sun a golden orb sinking low, its rays stretching long and thin across the grass. The shadows of trees sway gently, their edges sharp at first, then softening as the light dips lower. It's a dance of give and take. The light paints the leaves gold, the shadows pull it back, draping the hill in cool gray. Imagine standing there, the breeze brushing your face, the air alive with the scent of earth and pine. The light steps forward, the shadow steps back, then forward again, a rhythm as old as the sun itself, soothing your thoughts with its flow. This dance shifts with the moment. Think of a window at twilight, the last rays slipping through, casting the shadow of a plant across the wall. The light glows soft and orange, the shadow stretches long and dark, its leaves trembling as the breeze moves them. They play together, the light shrinking, the shadow growing, then pausing as the glow fades entirely. Picture it now, the room dimming, the air still and faintly floral, the dance slowing to a hush. It's a beauty that doesn't rush, a partnership that steadies your breath. In nature, the dance grows grander. Imagine a canyon as dusk falls, the sun's light spilling over the rim, painting the rock in hues of red and gold. The shadows rise from the depths, climbing the walls, meeting the light halfway. They blend at the edges, a soft blur where dark kisses glow, then part as the sun sinks lower, the shadow claiming more. The air carries the scent of dust and stone, and the dance unfolds in silence, a quiet harmony that fills the space. Picture yourself there, the coolness settling over you, the rhythm guiding your mind to rest. Even the smallest things join in. Picture a pebble on a path, its shadow sharp in the midday sun, then stretching long as evening comes. The light shifts, the shadow follows, sometimes small, sometimes vast, always tied to its partner. The air hums with the faint rustle of leaves nearby, and the dance feels simple, eternal, a cycle that's played since the earth first turned. Imagine watching it, the shadow's edge softening, the light's glow fading, their steps a lullaby for the day's end. As you linger here, let shadows and lights dance wrap around you. The hillsides sway, the windows play, the canyons blend, the pebbles shift, they bloom together, a gentle rhythm held when the light fades. Feel them now, their motion soothing your breath, their calm sinking into your bones. This is what shadows hold, a dance with light, a lullaby of balance, drawing you gently towards sleep. Shadows in folklore. Now, let's wander into the tales of old, where shadows weave their way through folklore, stories whispered by firelight when the light fades and the dark takes hold. Imagine a world where shadows are more than shapes, they're spirits, omens, keepers of secrets passed down through time. The air is cool, scented with smoke and mystery, and the shadows stretch out like threads of legend. Let's listen to these tales together, letting their quiet wonder settle over us like a sigh. Picture a forest in ancient Britain, the trees tall and twisted, their shadows falling long across the moss as dusk creeps in. Here, the Celts told of the shadow folk, beings born of twilight, neither light nor dark, who danced in the dimness. They were tricksters, some said, leading wanderers astray, but others called them guides, showing paths hidden from the sun. Imagine walking there, the air damp and earthy, the shadows shifting as if alive. A rustle sounds, a whisper rises, and the tale feels real, held in the dark like a breath. Across the sea, in Japan, shadows held their own stories. Picture a village at night, the moon faint, the shadow of a lantern stretching across a paper screen. The old ones spoke of Kageana, the shadow woman, a figure seen only in silhouette, her form a warning of change to come. She didn't speak, didn't move, just stood in the shadows quiet, her presence a hush over the house. The air smells of rice and cedar, and the shadow holds her story, a mystery that calms rather than stirs. Imagine seeing her now, the silhouette soft, the night steady around her. In Africa, shadows danced with life. Picture a savanna at dusk, the acacia trees casting long, jagged shapes across the earth as the sun dips low. Here, some tribes told of shadows as souls, the part of you that walks beside you, tied to your breath. When the light faded, the shadow grew stronger, a protector in the dark. The air hums with the scent of dry grass and distant fire, and the shadow stretches out, holding the tale of your spirit. Imagine standing there, the coolness brushing your skin, the shadow a quiet companion in the story's weave. Even in the Americas, shadows whispered. Picture a canyon under starlight, the cliffs dark, their shadows pooling deep in the stone. Native tales spoke of shadow spirits, messengers between worlds, slipping through the dark to carry dreams or warnings. They moved with the night, soft and unseen, their presence felt in the stillness. The air carries the scent of sage and dust, and the shadow holds their journey, a thread of wonder in the quiet. Imagine sitting there, the stars above, the shadow below, cradling the tale in its calm. As you rest here, let shadows in folklore enfold you. The forest's dance, the lantern's silhouette, the savanna's soul, the canyon's messenger, they bloom in the dark, a gentle tapestry held when the light fades. Feel them now, their stories wrapping you in peace, their whispers guiding your breath slower, your mind gentler. This is what shadows hold, legends of old, a lullaby of mystery, drawing you closer to sleep. Shadows of the self. Now, let's step inward, into the shadows of the self, those quiet parts of you that rise when the light fades, holding pieces of who you are. Imagine a space within, soft and dim, where thoughts and feelings rest in the dark, unseen but felt. The air is still, faintly scented with the warmth of your own breath, and the shadows stretch out, cradling the you beyond the day. Let's explore this together, letting its calm settle over us like a sigh. Picture yourself at dusk, standing alone, your shadow falling long across the ground. It's more than a shape, it's a mirror, a reflection of your form, your motion, your being. The light dims, the shadow grows, and it holds something deeper, a piece of you that doesn't speak in words. Maybe it's a doubt you carry, a hope you hide, a quiet strength you've forgotten. Imagine watching it now, the air cool against your skin, the shadow steady beside you. It's not separate, it's yours, a part of the self held in the dark. These shadows shift with time. Think of a moment when you sat in quiet, the room dim, the shadow of your hand resting on the table. The day's rush faded, and the shadow held what remained, your stillness, your breath, the thoughts too soft to name. The air hums with the faint sound of your heartbeat, and the shadow cradles it, a keeper of the you that lingers when the light steps back. Picture it now, the room growing dark, the shadow softening your edges. It's a place where you can rest, whole and unjudged. In the mind, shadows hold more. Imagine a memory you rarely touch, a day of joy, a pang of loss, its edges blurred, its shape faint in the dark. The shadow of that moment lives within, not sharp or loud, but gentle, a whisper of what shaped you. The air feels warm with its echo, and the shadow keeps it safe, a quiet corner of yourself. Picture it drifting up now, soft and gray, a feeling you don't need to name. It's a comfort, isn't it? That these shadows hold what you are, even when you let it go. Even in dreams, the self casts shadows. Picture a night when you wandered a strange place, your shadow beside you, shifting with the dream's light. It held your fears, your wonders, your quiet truths, a reflection of the you that sleeps. The air is cool, the world fluid, and the shadow stays, a companion in the dark. Imagine it now, its form fading into the night, cradling the self you carry within. It's a presence that doesn't demand, it simply is, soothing your soul. As you linger here, let the shadows of the self wrap around you. The dusk's mirror, the room's stillness, the memory's whisper, the dream's echo, they bloom in the dark, a gentle reflection held when the light fades. Feel them now, their calm settling over you, their presence guiding your breath deeper, your thoughts quieter. This is what shadows hold, a piece of you, a lullaby of being, drawing you gently towards sleep. Shadows across time. Now, let's drift into a place where shadows stretch across time, quiet witnesses to the ages, holding the past in their dark embrace when the light fades. Imagine a world where every shadow carries a thread of history, a whisper of what was, woven into the dusk of countless days. The air is still, faintly scented with the dust of years, and the shadows reach back, cradling moments long gone. Let's wander through this together, letting its calm settle over us like a sigh. Picture a desert at twilight, the sand glowing faintly under a sinking sun, the shadow of a rock stretching long and still across the dunes. This shadow has fallen here for millennia, before cities rose, before words were carved, when the earth was raw and new. It held the steps of ancient travelers, their cloaks brushing the sand, their voices lost to the wind. The air hums with the scent of dry earth, and the shadow keeps their echo, a mark of time too vast to hold. Imagine standing there, the coolness brushing your skin, the shadow steady beneath you. It's a presence that doesn't fade, a quiet link to the dawn of days. Now, think of a castle ruin, its stones crumbling, its shadow falling across mossy ground as dusk settles in. This shadow once stretched over bustling halls, catching the flicker of torches, the clink of armor, the murmur of lives lived centuries ago. Kings walked here, servants hurried, and the shadow held it all, softening their steps into silence. The air carries the faint scent of damp stone and ivy, and the shadow lingers, a keeper of a world that slipped away. Picture it now, the ruin quiet, the shadow vast, cradling the past in its hush. It's a stillness that soothes, a bridge across time. In a forest, shadows hold older tales. Picture an oak, its trunk wide and gnarled, its shadow stretching across the earth as the sun dips low. This tree stood when tribes gathered beneath it, when fires burned and songs rose, its shadow falling over hands that shaped the first tools. The air smells of leaf mold and bark, and the shadow keeps their story, a dark thread through centuries. Imagine sitting there, the roots beneath you, the shadow pooling around you. It's not just a shape, it's a memory, a whisper of roots deeper than we know. Even the stars cast shadows across time. Picture a night sky over an ancient plain, the shadow of a hill falling dark against the glow of constellations. These stars shone when pyramids were built, when ships crossed unknown seas, and the shadow held their light, a silent witness to the turning earth. The air is cool, vast with the scent of grass and night, and the shadow stretches out, cradling the ages in its calm. Imagine lying there, the stars above, the shadow below, a quiet that spans forever. As you linger here, let shadows across time wrap around you. The desert's echo, the castle's hush, the forest's roots, the stars glow, they bloom in the dark, a gentle tapestry held when the light fades. Feel them now, their weight settling over you, their calm guiding your breath slower, your thoughts gentler. This is what shadows hold, a span of time, a lullaby of ages, drawing you closer to sleep. Shadows and healing. Now, let's step into a place where shadows bring healing, a quiet refuge where the soul rests when the light fades. Imagine a world where the dark isn't heavy but soft, a balm for the weary, a space to breathe when the day's glare softens. The air is cool, faintly scented with the peace of night, and the shadows stretch out, holding a gentle cure. Let's explore this together, letting its calm cradle us into rest. Picture a garden at dusk, the flowers closing, their shadows stretching across the earth as the sun slips away. The air hums with the scent of lavender and damp soil, and the shadows fall like a sigh, cooling the ground where you sit. This is a place to let go, the day's rush, the weight on your shoulders, the noise in your mind. The shadow doesn't judge, it simply holds, a quiet space where hurts can soften. Imagine resting there, the bench steady beneath you, the shadow wrapping you in its hush. It's a healing that doesn't rush, a peace that seeps in slow. Shadows heal in stillness. Think of a room at night, the curtains drawn, the shadow of a tree swaying faintly against the wall. The world outside fades, the air grows still with the scent of wood and quiet, and the shadow offers a pause, a place to breathe, to feel, to mend. Maybe you've carried a worry too long, or a sadness too deep. Here, in the shadow's calm, it lightens, its edges blurring into the dark. Picture it now, the room dim, the shadow soft, cradling your thoughts. It's a comfort, isn't it? A silence that heals without words. In nature, shadows soothe, too. Picture a riverbank at twilight, the water dark, the shadow of reeds stretching long across its surface. The air is cool, heavy with the scent of wet earth, and the shadow falls over you as you sit, washing away the day's strain. The sound of the water blends with the hush, and the shadow holds it, a gentle hand on your heart, a space where tension fades. Imagine dipping your fingers into the river, the shadow cooling your skin, the calm sinking into your bones. It's a healing born of quiet, a gift from the dark. Even the body knows this. Scientists say shadows, darkness, help us rest, signaling the mind to slow, the heart to ease. In the dimness, your breath deepens, your pulse steadies, and the shadow becomes a healer, a guide to peace. Picture that now, a night falling soft around you, the shadow of your own form fading into the dark. The air is warm with your breath, and the shadow holds you, a tender cure for what the light can't reach. It's a rhythm as old as life, a calm that restores. As you rest here, let shadows and healing enfold you. The garden's refuge, the room's pause, the river's wash, the body's ease, they bloom in the dark, a gentle balm held when the light fades. Feel them now, their coolness soothing your skin, their calm guiding your breath deeper, your mind quieter. This is what shadows hold, a healing hush, a lullaby of rest, drawing you gently towards sleep. Shadows of tomorrow. Now, let's wander into the shadows of tomorrow, those quiet shapes that hint at what might be when the light fades and the future waits. Imagine a world where the dark isn't an end but a beginning, a canvas for dreams yet to unfold, held in the stillness of night. The air is cool, faintly scented with possibility, and the shadows stretch forward, cradling what's to come. Let's explore this together, letting its calm settle over us like a breath. Picture a field at dusk, the sun gone, the shadow of a tree falling long across the grass. The day is done, and the shadow holds a promise, a new morning, a fresh start, a chance to step into tomorrow. The air hums with the scent of dew and earth, and the shadow feels alive, a quiet space where hope takes root. Imagine standing there, the coolness brushing your feet, the shadow stretching toward the horizon. It's not empty, it's full, a gentle whisper of what lies ahead, soothing your thoughts with its calm. Tomorrow's shadows shift with the mind. Think of a city at night, the glow of lights faint, the shadow of a building stretching across the street. In that dark, you might see a dream, a journey to take, a story to write, a moment to hold. The air carries the scent of rain and stone, and the shadow cradles it, a soft outline of what could be. Picture walking there, the pavement cool beneath you, the shadow guiding your steps. It's a future that doesn't demand, it waits, a quiet companion to your hopes. In nature, these shadows bloom. Picture a cliff at twilight, the sea below dark, the shadow of the rock falling across the waves. The light fades, and the shadow holds a vision, new tides, new dawns, new whispers on the wind. The air is salty and cool, the sound of the water a steady hum, and the shadow stretches out, a bridge to tomorrow. Imagine sitting there, the stone grounding you, the shadow softening your gaze. It's a promise held in the dark, a peace that steadies your heart. Even the stars cast shadows of tomorrow. Picture a sky deep with night, the shadow of a hill dark against their glow. These stars will rise again, and the shadow holds that certainty, a cycle unbroken, a light to come. The air is vast, scented with grass and silence, and the shadow cradles the future, a quiet space where dreams can rest. Imagine lying there, the earth beneath you, the shadow above, whispering of mornings yet to be. It's a hope that doesn't rush, a calm that carries you forward. As you linger here, let the shadows of tomorrow wrap around you. The field's promise, the city's dream, the cliff's vision, the star's cycle, they bloom in the dark, a gentle hint held when the light fades. Feel them now, their coolness settling over you, their calm guiding your breath deeper, your thoughts gentler. This is what shadows hold, a tomorrow soft and sure, a lullaby of what's to come, drawing you closer to sleep. Shadows and eternity. Now, let's drift into a vast and quiet place, where shadows touch eternity, stretching beyond the fleeting day into a timeless dark when the light fades. Imagine a world where shadows are more than moments, they're echoes of forever, holding the endless in their silent embrace. The air is cool, faintly scented with the vastness of night, and the shadows reach out, cradling something infinite. Let's wander through this together, letting its calm wrap around us like a sigh. Picture a plain under a starless sky, the light gone, the shadow of a lone hill blending into the endless dark. This shadow has fallen here since the earth cooled, since the first winds carved its shape, a mark that knows no end. The air hums with the scent of grass and silence, and the shadow holds a stillness that feels eternal, beyond years, beyond names, beyond the rise and fall of all we know. Imagine standing there, the coolness brushing your skin, the shadow vast beneath you. It's not fleeting, it's forever, a quiet that stretches into the unknown. This eternity lives in small things, too. Think of a cave, its mouth dark, the shadow of its walls stretching deep into stone. Light fades at the edge, and the shadow reigns, holding time in its depths, drips of water from ages past, echoes of hands that left their mark on the rock. The air is damp, scented with earth and mineral, and the shadow cradles it all, a piece of forever tucked beneath the world. Picture sitting there, the stone cool against you, the shadow endless around you. It's a hush that doesn't waver, a calm that steadies your breath. In the cosmos, shadows reach further. Picture the moon casting its shadow across the earth during an eclipse, a dark veil that silences the sun. This shadow has danced through space since the heavens aligned, a rhythm older than life, holding the eternal in its quiet sweep. The air cools, the world stills, and the shadow stretches out, a bridge to the stars. Imagine watching it, the sky dim, the shadow vast above you. It's a moment that feels boundless, a peace that sinks into your bones. Even the smallest shadows hint at this. Picture a pebble by a stream, its shadow falling across the water as dusk settles in. The light fades, the shadow grows, and it joins the dark, a tiny piece of eternity, tied to the earth's slow turn. The air carries the scent of wet stone and moss, and the shadow holds its place, a whisper of forever in the night. Imagine kneeling there, the water cool, the shadow steady, a quiet that feels like always. As you linger here, let shadows and eternity enfold you. The plain's endless reach, the cave's deep hush, the eclipse's veil, the pebbles whisper, they bloom in the dark, a gentle vastness held when the light fades. Feel them now, their coolness settling over you, their calm guiding your breath deeper, your thoughts gentler. This is what shadows hold, an echo of eternity, a lullaby of the infinite, drawing you closer to sleep. Shadows as home. Now, let's step into a final place, where shadows feel like home, a quiet haven where you belong when the light fades. Imagine a world where the dark isn't strange but familiar, a space that holds you like a memory, soft and sure. The air is warm, faintly scented with the comfort of being, and the shadows stretch out, cradling you in their gentle arms. Let's rest here together, letting this homecoming soothe us into peace. Picture a porch at dusk, the day slipping away, the shadow of the roof falling across the wood where you sit. This is a place you know, the creak of a chair, the hum of evening, the scent of cedar and twilight. The shadow pools around you, soft and steady, a blanket of calm that feels like home. It's not new, it's yours, a space where the day's edges soften, where you can breathe. Imagine rocking there, the air brushing your face, the shadow holding you close. It's a comfort that doesn't ask, it simply is, a quiet return. Home lives in shadows elsewhere, too. Think of a bedroom at night, the curtains drawn, the shadow of a lamp stretching across the wall. The air hums with the scent of linen and stillness, and the shadow falls over your bed, a familiar shape that cradles your rest. This is where you've dreamed, where you've woken, where you've been you, and the shadow knows it all, a gentle keeper of your space. Picture lying there now, the mattress soft, the shadow wrapping you in its hush. It's a home that calms, a dark that welcomes. In nature, shadows offer this, too. Picture a grove at twilight, the trees close, their shadows blending into a canopy of dark. The air smells of bark and leaf, and the shadow falls over you as you sit, a natural roof that feels like shelter. Birds settle, the wind slows, and the shadow holds you, a home not built but grown, a place where the earth itself says rest. Imagine leaning against a trunk, the wood cool, the shadow steady around you. It's a belonging that roots you, a peace that feels like always. Even the mind finds home in shadows. Picture a quiet thought, a place you love, a moment of ease, its shadow falling soft within you as the day fades. The air is warm with your breath, and the shadow cradles it, a corner of yourself where you're safe. It's not loud or bright, it's dim, gentle, a space where you can simply be. Imagine resting there now, the thought blurring, the shadow holding it close. It's a home within, a calm that carries you through the night.
As you linger here, let shadows as home enfold you. The porch's blanket, the bedroom's hush, the grove's shelter, the mind's corner, they bloom in the dark, a gentle haven held when the light fades. Feel them now, their warmth settling over you, their calm guiding your breath deeper, your thoughts quieter. This is what shadows hold, a home in the dark, a lullaby of belonging, drawing you gently towards sleep.
Conclusion. And so, we come to the end of our journey, what shadows hold when the light fades, a quiet tale woven through the dark. We've wandered far together, haven't we? From the birth of shadows in dusk's tender glow to their dance with light, from the stories they keep to the healing they bring, from the vastness of eternity to the home they offer. Each step has been a whisper, a sigh, a soft thread tying us to the stillness. We've seen them stretch across time, cradling the past in their calm, and reach toward tomorrow, holding dreams yet to bloom. We've felt them in silence and sound, in art and dreams, in the seasons and the earth itself. They've been companions, mirrors of the self, keepers of folklore, and now, a place to rest, a home where the heart can settle when the day is done. What do shadows hold for you, as you drift here now? Perhaps a memory softened by their touch, a hope cradled in their quiet, or simply the peace of this moment, vast and gentle. Let that linger as you close your eyes, a shadow falling soft across your mind, a whisper of all we've shared, fading into the night. Thank you for joining me in this tranquil wander, for letting these words be your lullaby. If they've brought you calm, please consider subscribing for more journeys into peace. For now, let the shadows hold you, let their quiet carry you, and may your sleep be deep, your dreams sweet, your night a gentle embrace. Good night.